I've spent hundreds of hours building chatbots in Botpress and Voiceflow, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly which platform you should choose to build a chatbot for your own business. And in the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the advantages and disadvantages of both of these platforms are and where you should build your bot based on your specific needs. So make sure to like the video and subscribe to learn more about AI and how to use it in your own business in the future. And without further talking, let's hop straight in. So let's start with the ease of entrance. How easy really is it to get started in these platforms? Botpress is very easy to entry, simple steps, very self-explaining, and a lot of in-app tutorials for every different step. Voiceflow, on the other hand, is a bit harder to enter. You have all of these different blocks, don't really know what they mean. They're a bit, let's say, differently ordered than you might expect, and you don't really have tutorials for every single step like you have in Botpress, for example. So Voiceflow definitely is more something for advanced bots. A lot of API calls, a lot of coding more involved. So the barrier to entry definitely is lower on Botpress, but then if it gets really into these high class, upper end, high ticket chatbots, this is what you can do in Voiceflow. Other than that, when we're talking about the features, Botpress has typically way better features, meaning the different things you can put into your flows, capturing different information, doing more different things with AI. You can insert more things into your bot. So the features that Botpress have inside the actual bot building are higher. And then outside of that, so from a builder perspective, Botpress has something that is called agents. So different skills, so to say, that you can give your bot. For example, a summary agent to nicely summarize what the bot finds in your knowledge base, or a personality agent where you can give your bot a specific personality that he should act on, and a lot of other different agents that you can give your bot to give your bot more skills outside of your knowledge base. Voiceflow doesn't have that, and this is really a feature that I'm missing in Voiceflow every time I build a bot there. All you can do in Voiceflow is code every single AI step like you would like, or make a general system prompt in the knowledge base, but it doesn't even come close to the customization you have with Botpress. Therefore, Voiceflow has a lot of different and more functionalities than Botpress. For example, it has better, more specific, and more in total knowledge-based search steps and API calls that you can do within Voiceflow. As well, putting the very few, but therefore very high quality steps that you have in Voiceflow together, you can overall create more functionalities than in Botpress. Botpress is really one card for every single skill, if you want so, and Voiceflow, on the other hand, is you have limited cards that you can use, but with these cards, so the drag and drop building blocks you put in there, you can in total build more different things. The third point is variables. Botpress really has better variables. They're easier to store, they're easier to access, they're easier to collect, and they're easier to work with. Not only is in Botpress it is easier to create different variables, but also the ones that are already inside of Botpress by default are typically better and more of number than in Voiceflow. In Voiceflow, you really have a limited pool of variables that you can choose from, and it is as well easy to create new variables, but they're not as self-explaining to work with. But as I said before, Voiceflow has better APIs. So the API call within and outside of the actual knowledge base is way better, way more customizable, and way more specific. You can literally tell him how many blocks or how many chunks, so how many pieces of information he should take out of the knowledge base to then summarize and format in however you like. So the API calls, which is really the core of every AI bot, because it is what gives it depth and its quality. The fallbacks, if the bot doesn't find an answer immediately in your knowledge base, then the API call hits to look more deeply, get more context, understand better, read between the lines. This is what an API call does. Don't get me wrong, Botpress has this as well, but the ones in Voiceflow are really top notch, most of the time at least. And as well, Voiceflow has the voice feature. So you can actually build chatbots within Voiceflow that have a little button in there that you can speak with. The only thing missing here is that you can build either a bot on text or a bot that is based on voice. You can't mix these two and have a bot that you can either speak with or chat with. You have to decide between both, but the speaking feature and the general option to have is a really cool thing, and Botpress isn't able to do that. Further, we have to speak about the actual deployment of the bot. So putting the bot into your website or your WhatsApp or wherever you want to have it. And Botpress really makes it as easy as it gets here. You have a shareable link, so a website that already has your bot on it on default given from Botpress that you can just simply copy and show to your team or whatever to practice on or to test the bot on. Other than that, you simply have to copy and paste the code into the body part of your website, which Voiceflow does as well, but this only goes for the website in both cases. Botpress, other than the Voiceflow, has of course the shareable link, like I said, but as well deployment apps. So inside Botpress, there is a tab where you have the different apps that you can use Botpress with and that help you deploy the bot in other apps. Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever you like. And implementing these with API keys or whatever is really as simple as it gets. While in Voiceflow, you can only deploy the chatbot on your website, which is a pretty big disadvantage if you're comparing these two. The next point is the customer service. We use both platforms to build chatbots for customer service, but which platform has the actual better customer service and help for their bot builders? Well, both have, of course, a documentation. So an entire website with every little thing that you can do in both of these softwares to explain it and tell you how and what you can do with this specific function. At least this is how it should be. Voiceflow has mastered this. The Voiceflow documentation is top-notch, the best documentation I've probably ever worked with in a software, while Botpress has a very limited documentation, and both of them have YouTube channels. The Voiceflow YouTube channel is really active and really good explaining. The Botpress is more like lacking some really important things. But this doesn't mean that you can't get any help if you have problems with Botpress, because Botpress actually has the advantage that it has an awesome community. So they have their own Discord server where every bot builder, at least everyone that is on their Discord, is actively interacting with each other to help, make recommendations, and so on. So Botpress is more seen as a community, Voiceflow more as an actual company. Which you like more and which you like better for your own preferences, that is what you have to decide on. And the last point, which is probably really important to the smaller businesses, is the pricing. Botpress, hands down, has a way better pricing model than Voiceflow and any other bot builder. Because in Voiceflow and any other bot builder, you have different packages. So you have a default package, which is most of the times free. You have a pro package, a team package, and an enterprise package. And in each of these packages, you have a limited number of tokens that your bot can use. So every time you write a text message to your bot and your bot responds, this message that he comes with is worth a certain amount of tokens. This depends on which model you use to answer this question, because you can choose between the different models like ChatGPT 3.5, 4.0, 4 Turbo, whatever. Based on the model, this costs a different amount of tokens, based on the length and based on the work that the AI had to put into creating this message. So let's say one message is worth 1 token. That's oftentimes not the case, but to make it simple, let's say one message is 1 token. In Voiceflow and pretty much any other bot builder, you would have to buy a package with, for example, 100,000 tokens a month. So your bot can, in total, over every bot you build in there, over every conversation, in total, just write 100,000 messages. If you're a big enterprise business, which alone you have 100,000 website visitors a day, you might run out of tokens pretty fast. Therefore, if you're a smaller business who just has 2 visitors on their site every day, you probably are paying for tokens that you don't even use. Botpress solved this with letting you pay per token. So every token costs half a cent, which is a more than fair price. And so you never pay for something that you don't actually need, and you don't run into the danger of having not enough tokens and your bot not responding anymore because you haven't selected a large enough plan. So with all of that said, we can conclude that Botpress is better if you're starting out and want a really simple project, and Voiceflow is if you're more advanced, you understand the topic, and you want to build something complex and of really high quality. In the end, and on every other aspect I've given you, you have to decide on your own which one is the best for your specific needs. But I hope that now you can see much clearer about both of these softwares and know which to choose and what criteria to look at. And before I let you go of this video, I want to greatly thank you for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, and if you've gotten any value out of it, like the video and leave a subscription so you can learn more about AI for your business in the future. So do that right now, and then I'll see you in the next video somewhere around here. Goodbye.